أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another video, and before I start the video I would like to ask, or I would like to say that we've seen many conversions, we've seen videos online, a person, he read the Quran, he understood the Quran, he found it logical, rational, he understood true Tawheed, and he accepted Islam. He read the seerah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he accepted Islam. But now let's look at how some of our elders, especially the great Imam Ahmed Khan Barelvi, how he narrating the barakah of the awliyas, he narrates a very strange story. Now I don't know whether this is a true story or it's a false story, but it has been narrated by Ahmed Khan Barelvi in his Malfoozat. So one story which is in the Malfoozat of Ala Hazrat, which I have with me right over here, he says, now this is supposed to be a story of an awliya converting a Christian physician or a doctor, you could say. And it is a very strange story, and I want you all to basically listen to this and tell me what you think about this. So the compiler says that one day I was sitting in the company of Ala Hazrat. He was discussing the barakah of the awliya, and he said that once the great noble saint Qutb Sayyid al-Ta'ifa Sheikh Junaid al-Baghdadi fell sick. So Junaid al-Baghdadi, he's an awliya of Allah, he's believed that he's a saint, he's a friend of Allah. Now one day he fell sick. Now before I go any further, normally when in our subcontinent, our people they'll tell us that, oh, if you fall sick, go to a specific shrine, go to a specific place of the resting place of the awliya, and either seek their help or do some kind of tawassul, and you will be fine. And this is what the elders also say, that you should go to the graves and seek their blessings and you will be fine. But in the case of Junaid al-Baghdadi, who is considered to be one of the biggest awliya, when he fell sick, right, his urine, and in this case let's say his Mubarak urine, was taken to a Christian physician for analysis. So they've taken him, in fact they've taken the urine to a Christian person, not a Muslim person, but a Christian person. Of course, they had to write the story down, so they had to mention a disbeliever. So his urine was taken to a Christian physician for analysis. When this physician carefully examined it, he suddenly cried out. Now let me ask you the question, before I give you the answer. What do you think this Christian physician, he cried out? Now obviously this urine has been taken to him. I mean, as a normal doctor, you do your tests on it, and if you see something very suspicious, or something that's very that might be danger to to someone's life, and they've seen some kind of signs in the urine after doing a urine test, they will be very concerned. They will. But in this case, when this physician carefully examined it, he suddenly cried out, "Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh," and he embraced Islam. So the urine has some kind of power in it, some spiritual, some spiritual power in it, that he suddenly, he said the shahada and he embraced Islam. The people that asked him, now obviously, it's a bit obvious that, when you accept Islam in such a way, people are going to ask you. So the people asked him why he had embraced Islam. And this was his response. He says, this urine is of such a person whose liver is burned in the love of Allah. Allahu Akbar. This is what he says. The urine of these awliya has such great impact that is not found in the words of others. Now Ala Hazrat says in this book that the urine of the awliya, right, it has some special power in it, some special shifa in it, something so spiritual that it's not found anywhere else. So this Christian person, he became a Muslim after smelling, analyzing, checking this urine, and he discovered that, by looking at this urine, the sample that was sent to him, he looks at the sample and he automatically says that this urine belongs to a person whose lungs are so burnt out in the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So is this the way how, we are meant to be checking people's loves for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Are we now going to do the same? Are we now going to go out, take our urine samples to doctors? Or forget us, we are nothing. We have people like Ilyas Qadri. We have people like Suleman Misbahi. People, who look, they have big beards. They are considered to be one of the noble people. Are we now going to take Ilyas Qadri to the physician or doctors and, prove his, love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by looking at his urine? In fact, what you can do is speak to Ilyas Qadri. Speak to, people like Suleman Misbahi, who, who are always, they are in the front line, they're praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are praising the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they are in the front line. So we should not go to these people and say, let's go to the doctors and let's go check your urine to see if there's any love in, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, na'udhu billah. And this also reminds me of, Ilyas Qadri. And I am going to say this once again, Ilyas Qadri is a person who is backed by Sheikh Asrar Rashid, who said that Ilyas Qadri, he is a person who tells people to follow the sunnah. And, he's been doing good works. And he's been doing X, Y, and Z.
Maulana Ilyas Qadri is a very pious man. Do not disparage this man. He has been doing work for Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, for Islam, for decades. He does not embroil himself in controversies. He instructs people in how to pray their salah, to give their zakah. He instructs them in the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
So this is what Asrar Rashid said. And Ilyas Qadri, which I just remembered, is the fact that someone came into one of his gatherings. He came on the mic, and what did he say? He said that once upon a time, many years ago, you came to our city, our town, or wherever this gathering was, and you offered me some amount of, roti, or, you could say food. And that, after you left, I did not eat it. In fact, I left it with me. I kept it safe with me. And after so many years, I'm coming back and I want to share this with you.
आप 1990 से पहले जलालपुर जटा में तशरीफ़ लाए थे, कमोबेश 2 दफ़ा. तो सबसे पहले इलियास अतारी साहब आपको सलाम कह रहे थे. उधर आपने एक महमदिया मस्जिद है, असर की जमात उधर करवाई थी, और उस मस्जिद की हादमियत है इस वक्त मेरे पास. तो दूसरा, प्यारे बाबा जान, आपने उधर खाना खाया था, ठीक है,
बहुत याद रखा आपने. तो आप छोटे होंगे उस वक्त.
मैं 1994 में बैच हुआ था, 7वीं क्लास में पढ़ता था.
उम्र बहुत छोटी होगी आपकी.
जी ऐसे ही है. तो उधर प्यारे बाबा जान खाना खाने के दौरान आपने एक लुकमा दिया था मजर भाई को, ठीक है, खाने के लिए दिया था, लेकिन उन्होंने आज तक संभाल के रखा हुआ है, ठीक है. लुकमा तोड़ के रोटी का वैसे पकड़ाया था उन्हें, खाया नहीं उन्होंने आपसे छुपा के ना अपने पास रख लिया, ठीक है. अब इंतकाल हो चुका है, उनकी मग़फ़िरत के लिए दुआ फरमाइएगा. तो प्यारे बाबा जान, उधर ना मुर्गे की हड्डियाँ और वो जो रोटी का टुकड़ा है, अगर ज़ियाकोट गुजरात वाले भाई या जलालपुर जटा वालों ने वो टुकड़े की ज़ियारत करनी हो, तो प्यारे बाबा जान की करामत है जलालपुर जटा में इस वक्त वो रोटी का टुकड़ा अभी प्यारे बाबा जान ऐसे नरम और ताज़ा है कि जैसे एक ही रोटी पहले ही दिन की ये रोटी है. और आखिर में प्यारे बाबा जान, मेरे लिए मग़फ़िरत की दुआ, मेरे माँ बाप के लिए, और 6 साल हो गए मेरी शादी को, और औलाद नरीना के लिए दुआ फरमाइए.
अल्लाह ताला नेक औलाद आफियत के साथ.
हड्डियाँ भी ताज़ी हैं.
Now, any noble person, me, you, anybody, who's, who would at least say, what, I'm a reasonable person, he will say to me, he will say to that person, or I will say to that person, are you feeling okay? Am I the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Am I Allah? Why did you keep that, food with you until now? What were you trying to prove? What barakah? But no, Ilyas Qadri, he's smiling there. He's like, haha, yeah, this is mashallah, haha, mashallah. He's basically encouraging this, he's encouraging this man, and, he's laughing about it, and, he thinks it's fine. Coming back to Junaid al-Baghdadi, so obviously this Christian person, he, analyzed this spiritual urine. Allahu Akbar. Yeah, so he analyzed this spiritual urine, and straight away he said, Ashhadu Allah ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. So obviously there was something special about that urine. Now think about it this way. That Christian obviously had a family to go home to, and he's now become a Muslim after this, this supernatural, this, this situation that's happened to him. He's gone home. Now think about it, it's a bit obvious, family will ask, especially his wife might have asked him, that, how's your day been? And he's gone home and he said to his wife, कि बेगम आज तो मैंने एक नूरानी पेशाब देखा है, उसकी वजह से मैं आज मुसलमान हो गया हूं. You know that today I saw a blessed urine sample that forced me that, that urine, it made me turn into a Muslim. So is this something that we are going to present to the Christians and the Jews? In fact, take Ilyas Qadri, take people like, Suleman Misbahi, like I mentioned, take this guy and get the world to become Muslim. These guys are considered to be awliyas. If you don't consider him to be an awliya, then, come out and say it very openly. But these people are considered to be awliyas. If, once Ilyas Qadri, may Allah give him a long life, but if he was to pass away today, 50 years down the line, any idea how many books will be written in the praise of him, and also all the miracles that he's done. All the miracles, such as, one day he was sat on his bed and the bed started flying. The fact that, he ate poison like Asrar Rashid did, and, it didn't harm him. The fact that so many people became Muslim because of him. Why? Because just by looking at it, he has such a blessed face that people, these are stories that are going to be made up. So where do we stop? So if you think this, Junaid al-Baghdadi's urine was so blessed, then how about you get all your other guys and get them to also, start doing the same thing, get the urine samples, take them to the Christians and the Jews, take them to the Hindus, because Hindus already, they already have their, cow urine anyway. So take the, this urine sample of these so-called people and take them and make them convert or make people revert to Islam. This is the only choice then, because obviously, we are meant to go by the examples of our elders, of our awliyas, because if they did such a good thing, by, giving someone a urine sample and that person became a Muslim, and then obviously he's praising that urine, the urine of the awliya are so blessed. So, and over here, Ala Hazrat, he didn't even limit it. He didn't say Junaid Baghdadi's was the only blessed urine. He said the awliya's urine is blessed. Now what? And in fact, I should be thankful to Ala Hazrat now. He's given us a criteria to judge. So Junaid al-Baghdadi, he was an awliya because, after this incident. Now let's try with Ilyas Qadri. Let's try with Suleman Misbahi. Let's try with Asrar Rashid. Obviously these people, as you consider them to be the lions of Ahlul Sunnah, specifically, Asrar Rashid, then get these guys to go out, take, keep a urine sample with them and get them to convert people now, because the urine of the awliyas is blessed according to who? Ala Hazrat. So this was the video for today, and I hope this video makes sense, and please condemn these kind of things. Come on guys, please condemn these kind of things. These are in these books. A urine of the awliya has converted a person. The Prophet ﷺ, he spent over 23 years trying to give the message to the people. His own people who understood the Arabic language, they would not accept him. The Sahabas were being killed. The Sahabas were putting in time and effort to, make the message so clear to the people. But not on this side, no, a person like Junaid al-Baghdadi or some awliya, his urine is so blessed that it converts a disbeliever. Is this where our senses are gone now? Is this our iman now? Our iman, I'm sorry to say, I'm sorry for my language, but the iman is, our iman is in someone's urine. Na'udhu billah. Is this the respect we have for Islam? Our, an awliya, his urine is so blessed. So I would say, please get out of sectarianism. This is my message to you, because if you do not get out of sectarianism, you are going to say, no, Allah Hazrat did not mean this, Allah Hazrat did not mean that, when in fact, that's what it says. That's exactly what it says. So you've got to now read it for yourself. Tell me, is that right or is that wrong? Don't come to me and say, oh, Allah Hazrat was a big, Ashik Rasul. No, it's not going to work like that. If I'm pointing something out to you, you've got to read it for yourself and tell me, does this make sense? Which Sahaba ever tried to give a urine sample to a disbeliever and say, drink it? Because if this urine is so blessed, for example, we go make Umrah Hajj, right? And, we have the Zamzam water. Now this Zamzam water, is a blessed water for us. We drink it, we feel better. So this urine which is blessed, should be okay to drink as well then, right? Is that where it's going to lead us to now? The awliya's urine is so blissful or so blessed that it gives you shifa'a, it converts people into being Muslim. I mean, like I said, our iman is not in awliyas or elders or whoever these people are in their urine, na'udhu billah. This is what I have to say. To open your minds, this is what I have to say. So I hope this video makes sense to you. And I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the true understanding of the Quran, gives us the strength, the power, the capacity, the ability to act upon the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and live our life according to the Sahabas. So Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.